Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have a little coffee talk. I gotta get coffee. I filmed a few videos for the beauty channel. If you don't know, I have a beauty channel called Just Ann. My back has just been hurting. I've put on the community post that my son got me a new bed frame. So this bed here, I got it like 13 years ago, right before I met my ex-husband. And I paid like $4,000, and that's when it came with a mattress and box spring, and then like just a metal frame, you know. And what happened was the box spring here had broke, so where the wood goes like this, like the old, you know, it split in half. And what happened was, it didn't break from how you'd think it would break, okay? What happened was, when I moved into this house, you know, this is the attic, right, which is converted into like a bedroom now, right? And the steps go, it's not a complete spiral, but it kind of turns like a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. So it's very hard. A lot of to like get things up the steps if it's too wide, right? Because of that turn. And, you know, nowadays you can get ones that are come in two, right? You know, which is easier. But when I got this, I was living in another place where there was no steps, right? It was just one floor. And so getting up here kind of like broke to kind of, I don't know. So right now I went and got cinder blocks at Lowe's like 2 years ago or something like that. And I have the cinder blocks like sticking up to rig it. And so then my mattress is fine. And then I have like a little topper that's like here. But I think it's just because of the box spring, right? Because it's not a platform bed. It's just like one of those wooden frames that's like a square, and you put the box spring on it and then the mattress. So anyway, my son got me, because they had it on sale for Black Friday, so it's like a platform bed, and then it comes with a headboard, and it was only on sale for like $200, like $209 or something like that. I'll show you a picture right here. So I think that will help. I still need to get a new mattress, one, because it's 13 years old, but also, I mean, you know, I don't want any reminders of my ex-husband, okay? But if you look at the bed looks brand new. There's no stains. I've always had mattress covers on it. I don't eat on my bed, nothing like that, you know. And it's just, you know. But my point is as time's going on, my back is just hurting me. So that doesn't, I think it said it comes on the 6th. It'll be here. So I cannot wait. And then I'll also be filming going mattress store shopping. So even if I have to put one on layaway for now, I'm fine. But eventually, like I said, I have to get a new mattress. But definitely I needed a new, like, bed frame, you know. So I want to come on here and talk about my Thanksgiving, see how your guys' Thanksgiving was. You guys know that Thanksgiving is very hard for me. This year made 5 years since my mother's been gone. You know, she passed away Thanksgiving morning in 2019. And it's hard for me as well because my grandmother's not here, you know. She passed in the same year, and my grandmother helped raise me. And this year was the first time, like, I didn't cry. I was kind of excited to cook, you know. I mean, I was sad, and I thought about my mother and grandmother, especially my mother. Oh, my God. But I wasn't, like, crying as I'm cooking, because I always did the cooking. Ever since I've been, 18, 19 years old, I always did the Thanksgiving cooking. See, my mother and grandmother were not cooks, okay? They were not. Okay, their seasoning was salt, pepper, and shake and bake. Do they even still sell shake and bake, right? But when that's how you grow up, you don't know any difference. You think it's good, right? So when I start cooking and messing around and playing around with different seasonings and different things, you know, they like me do the cooking. And so they would always come over as I'm cooking, and then my mom would always do the dishes and clean up, which I loved, because I've never had, even to this day, I never had a dishwasher. So, you know, it's, you know, doing everything by hand and stuff. It's exhausting, right? And my grandma, she just sat there and watched, and she was the taste tester and all of that, you know, which I love. And then when they got older and both got sick, it got to the point where I would make my Thanksgiving dinner, and then I would just bring everything over there to this house, and we would eat, or I would cook everything and pick them up and bring them over, and they would eat, you know. And then when I got really bad, when they were both really getting sick, right before on hospice, I would cook everything and then bring over a plate for them. And so it just brings back a lot of memories as well, because every year I've always spent Thanksgiving. There was never a year, and as I was a kid, I've always spent Thanksgiving. There's not a year since I was born that I didn't spend Thanksgiving with my mother and grandmother, ever. But like I said, this was the first year that I didn't cry. You know, I'm getting emotional now because I'm thinking about it. So that's a blessing. And I also think I'm in a better headspace and I'm happier. I don't know if it will ever be the same, but it really made me be thankful to have my kids and the family that I do have, you know, and the people I have in my life. That taught me a lesson. If you didn't watch my last coffee talk where I talked about the book of Job and the meaning behind it and all of that, I will leave it down below. That's one video that I recommend to definitely watch. I was going to delete it because I don't really talk about the religion and all that type of stuff on my channel. And I didn't know how you guys were going to respond, but a lot of you guys really seem to enjoy it. So I think I'm going to do more of that, of talk about different things. So let me down below, are there any books in the Bible? Because each chapter is really a book, right? The book of Matthew, the book of John, the book of Esther, you know, Genesis, right? All of that. Is there any book in the Bible that you guys would want me to talk about and cover a little bit of what I know about it and stuff? Let me know down below, and I'll definitely do that, because I could talk about the Bible and God all day long. That's my happy space. But let me know how your Thanksgiving was. What did you do? Let me know. I'm actually shocked because, like, my kids, well, my son's 29. He went with his friend for a little bit. And then, but I'm just shocked. Lexi went over to her dad's house because she visits her dad, and she's got brothers and sisters and all of that stuff, you know, and her aunts and stuff that are over there, which is fine. She's always done that since she was a kid. My kids always stayed with me the night and woke up, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then afterwards, and Lexi would always go over there, which I didn't care, you know, but now that she's older, you know, it's like they still want to spend time with me. You know, they still, like Isaiah, you know, like eat with me. It's just nice because there's going to be a day where, you know, they're getting older. They're going to get married, hopefully, right? And, you know, they're going to have their spouse that they're going to go over. And maybe they'll do the switch where one year they'll be with me. You know, I don't know. But for the meantime, I appreciate it and I love it. Like, it's just, I'm very thankful that they still want to spend their Thanksgiving with me, you know? I remember, like, when I think about, like, Black Friday shopping, let me know if you guys did, or Cyber Monday when my kids were little. This is before the internet, before they had online shopping. Who remembers? Waking up at like 1, 2 in the morning, going to the store before they open, so you're in line, and we live in Jersey, so it's cold, and back then it snowed a lot and stuff, and it was a lot colder back then, and we'd be in the line. Some people would have tents. I would have a chair, one of those fold-up chairs or what have you. You know, God forbid you had to use the bathroom, because as soon as you step out of line, like, you got to go, and the lines would be, I mean, like miles long, you know, and then only let so many people in, but people would fight over things. Like, I remember that, what was that called, the Ruxby or something like that? Oh my God, people would fight over that. So, like, different things, like Barney, who remembers when Barney came out? And things were so expensive, but, like, that's the stuff I don't miss. Or a lot of times it wasn't like a specific thing that I wanted to get the kids. It was, I was a single mom, and that's when all the sales were. And then you'd actually in the store, because some things they didn't show, like, this is when you still looked in the paper and all of that, the newspaper, right, and the circulars, that some things were like there if you were there by a certain time, like before 11 a.m., you know what I mean? And you get even more of a sale of different things, you know? And like I said, that's how I would get the big gifts and stuff they may not ask for, but, you know, maybe they wanted, you know, and that was fun. And my mom always went with me, or my grandmother. But I don't miss those days. No, I don't. That's one good thing about online shopping, because now, like, if I see a brand new TV I want or something like that, I could just go online. But oh my goodness, do you guys remember that? And did you enjoy it? Not I, said the fly. Maybe if I lived in like Florida or down south where it was warmer, maybe it would be different. But no. So also, let me know what you think. So Susan Smith, do you guys remember who she was? Well, she just tried to go for parole. She's been in there 30 years already. Okay? It happened. Let me know if you guys remember who Susan Smith was. She was the one who... She had two sons, 3 and 14 months old. And she put them in her van, in their car seats, buckled them up, and put them in the water. And they died. And she blamed it on a black man. She got kidnapped out of her car. Anyway, she got sentenced to life, but she was eligible for parole after 30 years. I cannot believe it's been 30 years. It happened in 1994. It was October 25th in 1994. She's 53 now, so that means she was 23 when this happened. Her two sons were 3-year-old Michael and 1-year-old, I believe he was 14 months old, Alexander. She strapped her children in their car seats and rolled her car into John D. Long Lake in South Carolina. It's a lake in South Carolina called John D. Long. I think she should rot in hell. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to talk about this, because I want to talk about her going up for parole and stuff like that. On October 25th, 1994, Smith reported to police that she had been the victim of a carjacking by a black man while driving her 1990 Mazda Protege sedan with her son still in the back seat. For 9 days, she made a dramatic plea on national television for their safe return. I remember that. I definitely remember that. However, following an intensive investigation and a nationwide search for them, she confessed on November 3rd, 1994, to letting her car roll into nearby John D. Long Lake, drowning them inside. Her motivation was reportedly to facilitate a relationship with a local wealthy man named Tom Finley. Prior to the murders, he sent her a letter ending the relationship and expressing that he did not want children. She said there was no motive, nor did she plan the murder, stating that she was not in the right state of mind. So she was saying it was mental illness. Later, revelations indicated that detectives doubled Smith's story from the start and believed that she murdered her son. By the second day of the investigation, the police suspected that she knew their location and hoped that they were still alive. Investigators stated to search by nearby lakes and ponds, including John D. Lake, where their bodies were eventually found. Initial water searches, they did not locate the car because the police believed it to be within 30 feet off the shore and did not search further. It turned out to be 122 feet from the shore. So had she not confessed, I don't know if they would find it. They would have never found the van and those two little children. I don't know why they only searched 30 feet, but, you know, she probably would have got away with it. After the boys had been missing for 2 days, Smith was subject to a polygraph test. A significant breakthrough in the case was her description of the carjacking location. She had claimed that a traffic light had turned red, causing her to stop at an otherwise empty intersection. However, it was determined that the light would not have turned red for her unless another vehicle was present at the intersection road. This conflicted with her statement that she did not see any other cars there when her carjacking took place. Okay, I don't want to read it anymore. So that's basically what happened. And back then it was believable. Where she lived in South Carolina in the 90s, you know, I guess, you know, they say, oh, a black man did it. That's what a lot of these young white women would blame things on. But I do not believe it was mental health. Absolutely not. I don't care what, I don't believe that. I believe well, you have to have some type of mental health issues to want to unalive your children over a man. Okay? He ended the relationship because he didn't want children. So she thought, oh, let me go ahead and unalive my kids And then he'll be with me. And, you know, I can't even say it's her age because she's only 23. Like, no, no. You know, I could never, if a man didn't want me because I have kids or because I have biracial kids or what have you, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. However it goes. Like, are you kidding me? Never. So I am so glad that she got paroled. I mean, that she got denied parole. I hope that she never gets out. Let me know your thoughts of that. Do you remember that story? And let me know, do you think because she was so young, maybe after a certain time she should get out? You know, maybe she's in her 60s or 70s when she can't have kids anymore. Or do you think she should rot in hell? I think she should rot in hell, in my opinion. You know, she talked about she was sexually abused and she tried to unalive herself at the age of 13. Listen, been there. I ain't never tried to kill my kids. I'm sorry. What? It's not going to happen. Like, my kids will always come first. That's another reason why me and my marriage didn't really work out, because I didn't put my ex-husband, above my children. It's never going to happen. Even though my kids are adults now, it's never going to happen. You know, I see stories too, like how these kids, right? I watch sometimes like Steve Wilkos show, like reality TV and stuff. And it's like when these children go to their mothers and they say that their boyfriend or their stepdad or their or whoever, somebody in their family essayed them or what have you, and the mother doesn't believe it or wants more proof or stays with the guy, and it's like, how? Listen, if I was with somebody and my daughter, even my sons, okay, come to me and tell me, goodbye. Now I'll see what the, like now, if it's not true, it's not true, because there is a percentage that children do make it up. Either they're jealous of the relationship or what have you, whatever the case, or maybe I don't know. Very small percentage. I'd rather it not be true, but I still believe my kids to make sure that it really did happen. And I'm like, oh, let me find out. No, goodbye until I find out, you know, and then if you do, hopefully the cops find you before I do. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. I remember, like, I shared a story a while ago, what happened to me when I was 9 years old. And it made me, when I had kids, especially my daughter, I was very protective of her. I wouldn't even let her sit on her father's lap or anything. Now, mind you, this is in my drinking and all that, and I was only with her father for like 4 or 5 months before I got pregnant. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. So I knew him from high school, but I didn't know him. Like, after me and my son's father broke up, you know, I seen him again, and, you know, we start talking, but you never know anybody, right? We were only together 4 or 5 months, and it was, you know, an abusive relationship, and, you know, it just wasn't good. I was also very, very, like, I was going through it because, you know, my daughter was a twin. My daughter survived. She came home with me. And so I was very overprotective of that too, you know. But I wanted to make sure. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And, you know, now, and I was only 24 when I had her, right? Now, I get now as I'm older, right? Maybe I would have handled it a little bit different or what have you. But at that time, I was going through, I was thinking about what happened to me as a child. I just lost a daughter. I buried a daughter. Like, I was going through it. And, you know, I went to counseling, and her father, I mean, we still talk here and there to this day. He always tells me how much of a good mother I am. He'll ask Lexi, like, how's your mom doing? Or what have you. I, you know, got help with that a little bit, and I seen, you know, everything was okay. It only lasted a couple of months. I mean, my daughter don't even remember. But it's you know, you go through trauma, and everybody handles trauma differently. I handled it where I got very protective. Like, I wanted to protect my child because I wasn't protected, I felt. Do you know what I mean? And I remember saying something, and I had a man make a video on me saying, Justine called her baby daddies pedos, which I never did. Okay? And then I had this woman make a video on me. Her name was Welsh or Rose. She made a couple of them. They're still up on her channel. And It was like, how could you do that? I would never suspect my husband for doing that. That's disgusting. And maybe that's in your mind. And I'm thinking, well, you said the magic word, your husband. Had I been married or been in a relationship for years, okay, maybe it would have been different. But I was only with them for a couple months. And I'm going to protect my children at all costs. Now, maybe if I didn't go through what I went through and then lose a child, okay, then maybe I wouldn't have been so felt like that, but I can't help it. That's how I felt at 24 years old. That's how I felt. And I was going to protect my child. And like I said, now they have a great relationship, but it wasn't like it was going on like where my daughter remembers at 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. It wasn't like that, you know, and he understood. He got it. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I don't understand how a mother how could you do this to children? Like, I would protect my children at all costs. Some women have children for a man to stay with them, or they feel like maybe they'll love them, because a lot of times when you deal with sexual abuse as a child, and then like for me, I didn't have a father, right? My father died when he was 33 years old. The first guy that said, I love you, Tyler's father, I was all in, you know, and had a kid and, you know, and all that type of stuff, because I was looking for that love. So maybe she had those 2 boys thinking her, you know, I don't know. And then it didn't work. And I know a lot of people would say, like, why didn't she just give those boys to her husband? Well, sometimes when you hate your husband or you dislike them or you want to hurt them because you feel hurt, it's like, no, I'm going to do anything besides give them to you, right? I don't know, and I don't understand it, because as much as I dislike my kids' fathers, I never want to say anything happened to them. They gave me blessings, but anytime they wanted my kids, I would pack them up and I would take my gas money and bring them right over there. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do that. I would never stop the fathers from being in their lives, ever. I don't understand how, unless there's abuse or other things going on, that's different. But I'm just saying, because you're not with them, or because now they're with somebody else, you know, it's not right, because the kids are the ones that suffer, you know. And then I see this stuff with like Dlddy, like, oh, I've been saying for years about the music industry and different things like that. And this could be a whole nother video, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but let's talk about this, right? Satan, you know, his name is Lucifer. He was an angel, right? He wanted to be top dog, right? And God was like, oh, no, 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 goodbye. And, you know, he got rid of him, right? He's a fallen angel, right? So he hates God, and he hates humans, okay? Hates them. But, you know, he was an angel. And they say he sung like the chords, and his vocal cords and everything were like instruments. He can sing so good. So the music industry, the singing, all of that, you know, there is a thing where the devil comes, you know, that's a whole nother story. Like when you want to talk about, if you guys want me to talk about that. But I already knew P. Diddy and stuff it was no good. Right? And I am so glad he's arrested. I hope he doesn't ever gets out either. I believe that there are sex trafficking. I believe that they have underage kids. I believe of a lot of things that I've been saying for years. And some of my friends would think I was crazy when I would talk about this, but it's true. If you believe in God and good, you have to believe in the devil and bad. Sometimes we think, well, how could this happen? Or why would people do this? Well, we don't understand because we don't think like that. A lot of people do things for fame, for wealth, or what have you. You know, you can't sell your soul, your actually soul, right? When God gives us free choice, but we can choose to not do things, make bad choices, right? But you can't sell your soul. But I think people choose to do these things for fame, for money, and all of that stuff. Now, does everybody know? No, of course not. But the reason why people don't tell, because it's higher ups and politicians and lawyers and all of that is all involved. Look who used to go to Diddy's parties. Look at Epstein. Look who used to go to the island. So I know he just got denied his 3rd time, $50 million. Imagine having that type of money, because he's worth, what, $1 billion or something like that? He has endless amounts of money. $50 million, you could say, here, Oh my God, this is crazy. But I'd rather be a broke as a joke like I am now, struggling, but not going to bed hungry, getting my bills paid, than have all that money because of the things that he has done. What do you think about that? Do you think he should be able to get bailed out? Because I know they were saying, his lawyers were saying, if they bail him out, he would go to an apartment in New York where he would be secured all the time. He would never be able to own a cell phone. They would be watching him 24/7, have cameras everywhere, you know what I mean, and all that type of stuff. I still don't think he should, what he has done to people. I mean, he denied what happened with Cassie, okay? Denied it. That never happened until the video shows up. Because he paid, I think that hotel, he tried to pay $50,000 for it to go away, but somebody had it. And then it came out, and then, like, what can he say, right? Just imagine what he's done, what you don't see. I don't know why this stuff has been on my mind lately. I have no idea. I don't know. But if you're still here, write the word cookie or put a cookie emoji in the comments. Because I'm sure a lot of you probably aren't into these topics or anything like that. But I wanted to come on here and just see how you guys were doing. I know I haven't filmed for a while. But what you guys do for your Thanksgiving? What did you buy anything for Black Friday? You're going to buy anything for Cyber Monday? Let me know down below. And yeah, I was going to do a walk and talk today and just walk with you guys, but it is cold, okay? It was like 20 degrees last night. It's cold. I can't do it. I am not made for the cold or the heat. But as I remember back in the day when I used to drink, and I would drink out of the 40-ounce like beers and different things like that, and I'd be outside on the porch or outside with my friends on the corner, and it was freezing. We had scarves on, gloves, hats, jackets, all of this. And like I did, well, I guess when you're drinking too, you feel you're not that cold. But I mean, I would play spades, right? Or dominoes outside. We'd have a little table in the cold like this. Not no more. I get cold when I let the dogs out. The door to let the dogs out. I'm like, ooh, I can't do it anymore. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. Short and sweet. Let me know what you think of Susan Smith. Do you think she should get paroled at some time or what? Let me know if you remember that. And also with Diddy, do you think he should get bailed? Let me know. Don't forget, I do have a beauty channel and our new channel, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's called I'm Just Ann, and I'm just doing live streams over there. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one, go ahead and subscribe over there. And let's see, it is 4:54. I do not know if I can get this video up for you tonight because my Eagles are playing. Are they winning? Because they're playing the Ravens. Oh my God. And I am worried about this game. Let me see. Please, please. 0-3 Ravens are winning. All right, I'm getting off of here because I got to go watch my Eagles game. Bye.